David, Dr. Fauci is a better man than I am for being calm. 'Cause how you a grown-ass man being yelled at? That's just so crazy. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and do click the bell. Lord, that light is in my face. I really do appreciate if you do subscribe and click the bell. That really does mean a lot to me. I'm on Patreon, patreon.com/JOA, JOA. No, I don't have a Cash App yet. I prefer Patreon. Common sense, people. Don't come with me with the foolishness, all right? Icebreaker question: would you remain calm in the same demeanor as Dr. Fauci did when this old-ass, raggedy, trailer trash man, Representative Jim Jordan, yelled at the man like that? Like, damn. Watch this clip to see what I'm talking about.
Congressman Jordan, is to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as we possibly can to get the level of infection in this country low, that it is no longer a threat. That is when. And I believe when that happens, you will see.
What determines when?
I'm sorry.
What measure? I mean, are we just going to continue this forever, or when do we get to the point? What measure? What standard? What objective outcome do we have to reach before Americans get their liberty and freedoms back?
You know, you're indicating liberty and freedom. I look at it as a public health measure to prevent people from dying and going to the hospital.
You don't think Americans' liberties have been threatened the last year, Dr. Fauci? They've been assaulted. Their liberties have.
I don't look at this as a liberty thing, Congressman Jordan.
Well, that's obvious.
As a public health thing.
But
I disagree with you on that.
You think the Constitution is suspended during a virus, during a pandemic? It's certainly not.
This will end for sure when we get the level of infection very low. It is now at such a high level. There's a threat again of major surges.
Dr. Fauci, over the last year, Americans' First Amendment rights have been completely attacked. Your right to go to church, your right to assemble, your right to petition your government, freedom of the press, freedom of speech have all been assaulted. I mean, for a year now, Americans haven't been able to go to church. Even today, when they go to church, they're limited in the size of worshipers who can meet. Your right to assemble? Oh my goodness. We had a curfew last fall in Ohio. You had to be in your home at 10. In Pennsylvania, you had to be in your home. When you're in your home, you had to wear a mask. In Vermont, when you were in your home, you didn't have to wear a mask, Dr. Fauci, because you weren't allowed to have people over to your house.
Yeah, Congressman Jordan.
Your ability to petition your government for a year, American citizens haven't been able to come to their capital to petition their government, to talk to their representatives, and freedom of the press. These very pictures that Representative Scalise just showed you and talked about, guess what? The press isn't allowed in those facilities. The press is not, the Biden administration will not let the press in there. And certainly freedom of speech. I mean, a governor of our third largest state meets with physicians, and that video is censored because they dare to disagree with Dr. Fauci. So I just want to know, when do Americans get their First Amendment liberties back?
You know, I don't think anything was censored because they felt they couldn't disagree with me. I think you're making this a personal thing, and it isn't.
It's not a personal thing.
No, you are. That is exactly what you're doing.
No, your recommendations carry a lot of weight, Dr. Fauci. We just had the chair of the Financial Services Committee said she loves you and you're the greatest thing in the world.
My recommendations are consistent.
Will the gentleman yield?
No, it's my
Now,
time.
can I answer the question, please? My recommendations are not a personal recommendation. It's based on the CDC guidance, which is
And I'm asking the question, what measures have to be attained before Americans get their First Amendment liberties back?
I just told you that.
No, you haven't given anything specific. You said, we hope when this, tell me specifically.
Right now, we have about 60,000 infections a day, which is a very large risk for a surge. We're not talking about liberties. We're talking about a pandemic that has killed 560,000 Americans.
I get that,
That's what we're talking about.
And I don't disagree with that. And I understand how serious that is. But I also understand it's pretty serious when businesses have been shut down. People can't go to church. People can't assemble in their own homes with their friends, with their families. People can't go to a loved one's funeral. People can't get to their government, petition their representative to redress their grievances. I also understand the First Amendment's pretty darn important. And it's been a year. And I want to know when Americans will get those First Amendment liberties back.
Right, you just said people cannot assemble in their own homes. They can. That's a CDC recommendation for vaccinated
Not last
people.
fall, they couldn't.
I didn't hear.
Not last fall, they couldn't.
I didn't hear what he said.
The gentleman's time has expired. I'll give you one instance of when we can get our liberties back. It's been 90% of the members of the United States Congress get vaccinated.
Well, I want to know if that's what Dr. Fauci, is it 90%,
That's what
Dr. Fauci? Is it 90%? That's what I'd like to know. Give us some objective standards versus when certain things get reached, we might be able to get back to having our liberty. When? What are the numbers?
Well,
You're going to see a gradual, right now we're at an unacceptably high level. On a daily basis, it's unacceptably high, regardless of who you are. What you're going to see as more and more people get vaccinated, and we get over 3 million people a day, you're going to see the level of infection come down, and gradually there will be more flexibility for doing the things that you're talking about.
Where does it get to? When it comes down, what number do we get our liberties back? Tell me the number. Tell me the number.
When 90% of the members of Congress get vaccinated.
But you're not a doctor, Mr. Clyburn. He is. What is the number?
I can't
Thank you
give,
for recognizing me, Mr. Clyburn. Thank
The
you.
chair now
for giving me the
recognizes
time.
for 5
I'd
minutes.
like my question
Ms.
answered.
Maloney.
I don't want.
Reclaiming my
I
time.
want to-
Reclaiming my
Regular
time.
Regular order.
No,
Just a moment.
Mr. Chairman, I don't want you to answer my question. The American people want Dr. Fauci to answer the
Well-
question.
But
What does it
time
have to be?
expires, sir. If you need to respect the chair and shut your mouth.
Don't worry about this. We're going to handle this. And I think Mr. Jordan knows me very well.
I don't think Jim Jordan really realizes that it does take time for data and for facts to come about. I do see his frustrations. Me personally, I can care less about this pandemic because before this pandemic happened, my life was work, home, and school. That's it. And then just work and home when I got out of college, and that's it. So, I mean, I really don't go anywhere, as depressing as that sounds, but they got people with lives that really can't fathom the new way of cultural living here in the United States and globally. But at least can you calm your ass down, and you need to realize that your best friend, Donald Trump, is the person that kept this pandemic a secret for several months. And, you know, there were tapes with Bob Woodward coming out. And he also do need to realize that there's, you know, almost 600,000 deaths with this COVID situation. So the fact that he is yelling at a grown man that's a doctor that has credentials and is an expert and has worked with several presidents, you know, you need to respect the man and put some respect on his name and don't yell at him as if he's a kid. All right. And so had Donald Trump told us about this pandemic earlier on, then this situation would happen. You know, however, at this point, I am still hesitant with the whole vaccine. I told you guys before there were time discrepancies with the vaccine from the former CDC Director Richfield saying the vaccine should be out literally towards 3/4 of the quarter of 2021. And Donald Trump saying that it should be out before time. And so I'm hesitant with that. And so I'm just hesitant with it overall. I feel like it was made too quickly. And while I do understand the frustrations of Jim Jordan, you know, it's just like you're not going to get anywhere with yelling. And I do applaud Dr. Fauci for keeping this calm, you know, over past administration and currently. And, you know, he has not once made any disrespectful remark or anything whatsoever, from Fox News to Jim Jordan bats and everything. So anyways, y'all, I'm done with this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I appreciate if you do subscribe and click that bell. Patreon.com/JOAJOA. Answer my icebreaker question. Deuces. Yeah.